from you. Thank you, Acting PP, the one who was saying that he must take us through him. He or she must do so. Thank you so much.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Mhlongo. Good morning, Honorable Mhlongo.
Morning, Chair. I apologize. I can't have my video because of load shedding.
Okay.
Person, on a point of order, we cannot have a presentation when it's amendment. We don't get a shared amendment or other reports which were sent last night. It shows good. There's no openness. There's no transparency. Now both Public Protector and the department are talking to each other. They gave us a report which is not amended. Let them talk to the report which was presented to us, not amendments and other amendments of last night and other days. That is not procedural. We don't have those reports.
Can I give this point to the committee? Because I was thinking that when a department is giving us amendments, the people who were called by the speaker because of this agenda, they are confirming that they did have amendments. So the only thing that I'm asking honorable members, agenda, can we take those amendments in order that we must give a report back to the speaker? If we can allow, Honorable Mhlongo is saying it's not in order, I'm putting back to the members. Honorable member. Yes, Honorable Janice.
No, I do share what Member Sep was saying, that we're surprised about, and I'm sure you too and me too, about the additional information shared at the last minute or last night. But that should not stop this meeting from continuing. We must hear the information, whatever we need to hear or what is decided for us, in addition to the presentations, and then we will, as a committee, will decide what we want to do. But let us continue. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you, Honorable Dennis, Honorable Malomani, Honorable Zondi.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think Honorable Dennis has covered me what I wanted to say. Let's hear the information, and then after that, Chair, I think Honorable Dennis has covered. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Malomani, Honorable Zondi. Okay, you are fine. Honorable members, I'm taking now that I'm giving back this, the Honorable PP, Acting PP of South Africa must present their version of the report, old and amended one, because we don't have enough time to come back another day. Instruction from the office of the speaker wanted that we must finalize this report, and I'm suspecting that as this committee who has got a lot of things to do, let's give them this opportunity to present, and then we'll report back to the speaker. We are agreed, Acting PP, that we must get your report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and to the honorable members for the indulgence. Advocate Tabinde, you may kindly proceed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Acting Public Protector. Good morning, Honorable Chair and members. I will switch on my video just for a little while so that members can see me again, and then I will switch it off just for connectivity purposes. With your permission, Chair, if I may then switch off my video.
Switch off, Nelly, so we're seeing this beautiful face. Switch off.
Thank you very much, Chair, and also greetings to the Minister and the Deputy Minister and all the officials from the department. I am sitting here with Ms. Mukhaladi, the Executive Manager, who was also responsible for this investigation and ultimately the report. I will then take you through our presentation, and also I will provide an explanation. Our presentation has not actually changed or been amended. We have requested the department to just provide us with some of the documentary evidence that we did not have at the time. We have studied all the documents that have been provided by the department to satisfy ourselves that they do address the remedial action. And I will point that out as we then continue with the presentation. If I may go to the next slide, please. That is providing the background. Yes, indeed. Madam Chair and members, the Public Protector issued a report number 95 of 2021-22 on the 27th of February 2022. The report was issued as a result of an investigation into a complaint that was launched by Mr. Graham Gilfillan and Mr. Eugene Mthethwa on the 4th of September 2018, and the second complaint was then lodged on the 15th of August 2019. Due to the similar nature of the complaints, the investigation was then consolidated into one, but taking into account the complaints that were actually raised by each of the complainants. In terms of the complaint itself, the allegations that were raised by Mr. Gilfillan were that the department contravened the provisions of the Public Finance Management Act of 1999, the National Treasury Regulations, as well as the State Attorneys Act of 1957, in that for the period 2009 to 2018, the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture entered into agreements with various private law firms, including but not limited to Edward Nathan Sonnenberg Incorporated, Spohr and Fisher Attorneys, and LM Attorneys, at the exclusion of the attorneys with a specific mandate to inter alia, ensure the removal of the two existing trustees, Mr. Graham Gilfillan and Dumisani Mota of ZM Makeba Trust, which oversees Ms. Makeba's affairs, appointed by Ms. Miriam Makeba. Secondly, oversee the claiming of Ms. Makeba's legacy from third parties by the department. Mr. Gilfillan also alleged that the department incurred irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure by making direct payments to private law firms and other intermediaries for the implementation of the above agreement, and in so doing breached the Culture Promotion Act of 1983. If you may move on to the next slide. Mr. Mthethwa, on the other hand, he based his complaint on a City Press article of 14 July 2019, which alleged that the 100 million rand arts funding scandal, that was the headline of that article. And according to the article, it stated that Ladysmith Black Mambazo was allocated 36 million rand over a period of 3 years by the department to teach traditional Zulu song and dance, and to record an album with the former President of the Republic of South Africa, His Excellency President Jacob Zuma. The amount, according to the article, was among the questionable funding deals, amounting to more than 100 million rand to have been spent by the department led by then Minister Nkosinathi Mthethwa for the 2018-2019 funding period. The complaint or the article further indicated that it was reported that further funding allocation with senior officials in the department claimed were questionable, including 50 million rand paid to the National Empowerment Fund without the required committee approval, 20 million rand over a period of 2 years assigned to Indoni South Africa Cultural Organization, which had already held its Miss Cultural South Africa Festival by the time the money was paid. 12 million rand for Usiba Cultural Awards show hosted by Mr. Mthethwa himself, which went to CCFISA and currently under investigation or then under investigation by the SIU. 10 million rand to the Living Legends Trust Fund and another 3 million rand which the department allocated to private lawyers. Next slide. And the public protector conducted the investigation, and this investigation was still conducted under Advocate Mrs. Mkhwebane, who then signed the formal report at the end of the investigation. The findings that were made was that the department contravened the provisions of the PFMA, the National the National Treasury regulations, as well as the CPA by providing funding for litigation in which it was not a party. Therefore, this allegation was found by the public protector to have been substantiated based on the information and evidence that was received during the investigation. The findings further stated that the funding provided to the beneficiaries of the trust and the foundation was defrayed out of monies appropriated by Parliament, and that the department failed to ensure that the directive by the executive authority having financial implications was in writing, and a copy of the document was filed with the National Treasury and the Auditor General in line with Section 64, subsection 1 and 64, subsection 3 of the PFMA. Furthermore, that the funds were utilized for litigation for the removal of the two trustees of the trust as opposed to the development and promotion of arts, therefore were not in line with Section 2, subsection 1A, Roman numeral 4 of the CPA, and constituted irregular expenditure as defined in Section 1 of the PFMA. So those were the findings against the Department of Arts and Culture. Moving on to remedial action, as contained in the report, and on the side, we've then indicated the response that was received from the department on the implementation of the remedial action. The first remedial action was for the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture to take cognizance of the finding on the acts of maladministration, improper conduct, and irregular expenditure by the Director General envisaged in Section 81B of the PFMA referred to in the report. The department has taken note or cognizance of the findings that were made by the public protector. Secondly, to ensure that in future, all ministerial directives having financial implications for the department are reduced into writing, and the Director General files same with the National Treasury and the Auditor General South Africa as envisaged by Section 64.1 and 64.3 of the PFMA. Thirdly, to include in his executive oversight role over the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, the monitoring of implementation of remedial action taken in pursuit of the findings in terms of the powers conferred under section 182C, sorry, 2C of the Constitution. So the department has noted this remedial action. Move on to the next one, 8.2, that the Director General of the department, in line with section 57B and C of the PFMA, ensure that appropriate action is taken to ensure that such conduct is not repeated and prevent the recurrence of the improprieties identified in the investigation. The department's response was that the governance and compliance committees are being set up within CCIFSA, and the department has assigned an official to sit in the CCIFSA board meetings. The next one, 8.2.2, the Director General to ensure that upon the finalization of a forensic investigation conducted by BIG into allegations of misappropriation of funds by the CCIFSA, the Public Protector is provided with a copy of the report thereof. I can indicate to the committee that the Public Protector received the BIG report from the department, and in terms of the report, it did make recommendations for corrective action to be taken, and I will get to that point. Otherwise, we do have the copy of the report. As an explanation on this one, as I indicated, that there is nothing that has been amended. We did request a copy of that report from the department. We received a copy of the report from the department. We studied the copy of the report from the department, and as the department or the acting DG noted earlier on, that some of those officials that were then implicated in the BIG investigation and against whom recommendations were made are no longer with the department, including the former DG, and that the CFO has moved to another department. If you can then, okay, you are on the next slide. The next remedial action was that the Director General must ensure that prior to approving requests for funding from third parties in terms of section 2, subsection 1A, Roman numeral 4 of the CPA, such requests are subjected to a comprehensive legal vetting by the department's legal service section, with a view to ensure that they comply with the provisions of the Act. And that same is for the purposes intended by the provisions of section 2(1)(a)(4) of the CPA. The department has since approved a funding policy, and for all approved requests or proposals or documents are subjected to a process of contract vetting by the department legal unit. That is the response from the department. In this instance, the department provided the Public Protector with a policy titled Promotion and Development Funding and Transfer Policy, dated the 10th of October 2022. So as the Public Protector's Office, we do have a copy of this policy that has been developed in order to address the issues that were identified in the investigation and to ensure that there is no recurrence and there will be proper vetting. Then the next one was for the DG to ensure that the particulars of the irregular expenditure in the final report is immediately reported in writing to the National Treasury as envisaged in section 38(1)(g) of the PFMA. In this presentation, we had indicated, as you will note there, that it's not responded to or not implemented. At this stage, we have since received a letter, because we then needed a letter confirming that the department has informed the National Treasury in writing as required to report the irregular expenditure that was identified in the investigation, as contained also in the findings. The department has provided us with a letter to the National Treasury titled Reporting the Irregular Expenditure for the month of November 2022, wherein the department has also applied for condonation. The letter is dated the 7th of December 2022, and it is signed by the Acting Director General, Ms. Mandisa Chikwatamba. So we do also have the letter confirming, which then we will change our status as far as that remedial action is concerned to implemented as well. When we then, as indicated, compiled the presentation, we had not received the actual proof, and that is why we stated as such, which we have now corrected. We move on to remedial action 8.2.7. Just to make sure that I'm in the right place. I didn't speak in.
Yeah, but then put all of them together.
Okay. Yes, sorry about that. I just want to also 8.2.7 indicates that in line with section 38HI of the PFMA, ensure that appropriate disciplinary steps are taken against any official of the department who may be found to have been involved in the financial irregularities referred to in the report. I've already indicated that as far as this remedial action is concerned, the former DG is no longer with the department, and the CFO, or the former CFO, is also no longer with the department. As contained in the BIG report in terms of action that needs to be taken against implicated employees. And then moving on to the next slide. 8.3.1, the department's director, human resource management, to ensure that line managers, divisional managers and section managers are well capacitated to understand their role, to ignore the department, to improve the department's governance and financial management through implementing effective internal controls in their respective areas. The response that was received from the department was that the Human Resource Development Unit will engage the National School of Government to roll out training on implementing internal controls and avoiding irregular, fruitless, and wasteful expenditure for all officials on levels 9 to 16 who are responsible for implementation and management of projects and programs. As the Public Protector, we do include a remedial action relating to training, and this by no means is to give an indication that maybe the issue of training has not happened. We want to ensure that state organs continuously capacitate, and as we issue these reports, that they are highlighted to those responsible officials so that there is no recurrence. Because we do sometimes find departments coming back to us indicating that they do have continuous training, but we do appreciate that from this remedial action, the department then has put in place means to provide further capacity to the various role players to ensure that there is no repeat of what was identified in this investigation, and to make sure that the control measures that were in place are actually strengthened even further to avoid any form of recurrence. So I've come to the end then of the remedial action that was made in respect of this particular investigation. And having also confirmed that we have received the supporting documents, that we did not have to confirm that the remedial action has been implemented. So on that note, Chairperson and members, I would then want to indicate that from this, the view of the Public Protector, based on the evidence that we have received, we are in a position to then indicate that the remedial action has been implemented by the department, and we do wish to extend our appreciation to the department for their cooperation with the implementation of our remedial action. If we look at the fact that the report was actually issued in February 2022, and the remedial action that has been implemented over the period from May to approaching Treasury in December, and where we are, as they still await the condonation by National Treasury, that at least there is quite good progress that has been made in the implementation of the remedial action. And as I then close, Chairperson and members, just from my side, is then to also show or extend our gratitude to the committee itself for really giving us this opportunity, but more so for calling upon the departments to really account for the remedial action that has been implemented by the Public Protector, and to ensure that the remedial action is implemented. It's not the first time that the committee has taken such a step with this particular committee, and we want to show that appreciation, because it does then give the full support that we need as the Public Protector to ensure that our remedial action does not just end up in the paper, but it is indeed implemented. Thank you very much, Chairperson and the members, and Acting Public Protector as well. I've come to the end of our presentation. Thank you. Okay. Chairperson, sorry,
okay,
if I may indicate
yes,
that the Acting Public Protector, I don't know if she's back in session, otherwise she was...
I am here.
Yes,
thank you.
okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Chairperson.
Can I take this opportunity to thank the Acting Public Protector and you, Nelson, and the rest, because you were working as a collective, let alone who's presenting. I'm taking this opportunity also to thank you. Whenever we want you to come to this committee, you always come with a fully fledged information, and I'm thanking you, because we're still going to deliberate. But as from the chairperson's side, I'm appreciating what you are telling us now. Is giving us a direction of how to handle now this discussion, which are now going to give the members, both the department and the Public Protector, if you can listen and note the questions which are going to direct it to you, department, and to you, Public Protector. In that way, now I'm recognizing the hands of honorable members. The first hand is Honorable Mhlongo, Honorable Adams, Honorable Mthethwa, Honorable Joseph, Honorable Zondi, Honorable Malomane, in that order. To you, Honorable Mhlongo.
Thank you, Chair. You can see, can I switch off my video?
Yes, Honorable Mhlongo. I've forgotten to tell all of you that this is a Women's Month. And I've seen even the presentations are done by women. And all these women, they are bright, which means they are still holding their families, they are taking care, as you are aware that JBV, it's our daily bread. So we need to keep it like that, honorable members. Honorable Mhlongo, happy Women's Day, honorable members. Thank you, Honorable Mhlongo.
Thank you very much, Chair. Happy Women's Day. And thank you, are led by Imbogodo. Under your leadership, we can investigate and make the department to account. And thank you to the Public Protector for giving us this information. And I want to put it to the Public Protector, there are many issues which must be investigated, or remedial actions were not implemented, so to say. Chair, let me come to the actual report. It's shocking to see that the department only responds only last night, after years of not responding to the Public Protector. Now we are calling on the Minister and the department to respond, to respect Section 9 institutions. Now it shows good they don't respect that. It clearly shows. Only last night, documents, only now, things were supposed to be implemented for some time. Now it is wrong, it's uncalled for the department under the leadership of Minister Zizi. He has just arrived, but it's totally wrong to respond late. We must respect this institution. And maladministration has been happening. I've raised these issues in different formation, in different meetings. Let me go to the issues. The Miriam Makeba issue. I've received a response from the previous minister. He misled us in his response. As you see today, Chair Uguti, there were maladministration, corruption issues near the late Makeba. I have responses which are misleading, which are, untold stories, which it's a lie, so to say. And I'm not going to apologize. But Chairperson, what I wanted to find out from the Public Protector, you received information last night. We don't have privy for the information. Now you decide after thoughts, after receiving those documents, we don't have it as an oversight committee. And you're concluding to say they have really they've already implemented remedial action. I put it to you that the remedial action which were not implemented even to date, even the one that you are claiming, because I don't have the report with me that says all the remedial action have been implemented. I put it to you that the policy of unlawful surplus funding, it's not implemented. On your report 8.1.2, where's the report that are just saying noting? And later, maybe last night, there was a report. It is shocking to see the undermining of a department to a Public Protector. What I wanted to find out, when people are implicated that are no more with the department, what do we do? Minister, DG, former minister, former DG, all other staff, CEO of NAC and others. What do we do if directly to Public Protector, they're saying they're no more with the department? What is the remedial action? Did they implement it? What happened to them and what will happen? You're talking of training. Even this present staff members from the top to the low, they still need training. As I put it to them now publicly in this domain, they need training. They don't implement things that they're supposed to implement. Let me go to the National Treasury approval year 2015, 2016 to date. I put it to you, Public Protector, that there was no approval letter or evidence issued by the National Treasury. There's only one letter which was issued only 2014-15, signed by the then Deputy DDG Ndondo Muhajani, the department and the PP must provide us or myself with the amendments of expired project and claim funding that the policy has been implemented and promulgated as is, because the standard of operation and the legislation, therefore, it's questionable. And it's not clear that the policy that they're coming up with to remedial action on your report stated 7.1.2.1.1 to 7.1.2.1.4 on your report. The fact is the policy unclaimed fund surplus project still the implementation, therefore it's questionable and it's not implemented. Chair, on the big report, it's shocking to see that the big reports happened in 2016 and questions were raised. I've raised questions, and to date, I wanted to find out from the Public Protector and the department what other legal opinion you have, therefore, on the BIG report, on the big report. If so, can you provide any proof or any legal opinion that you have on the big report, because they're claiming that it has been implemented, therefore. Please note that in 2016, I've questioned the implementation of big report, and I received misleading information from the then previous minister. And I need a proof if they've implemented, therefore, can I provide it with a proof that because I have questioned? Why don't we take task?
Honorable Mhlongo, I'm sorry, Honorable Member. Yes, no, with due respect, Honorable Mhlongo, I'm suspecting now you are raising questions related to the past information or agenda of the committee of the NAC. So it's not about that today, whilst you are referring to those. But we have an agenda here in front of us. I'm not sure whether are you aware that some of what now you're raising are not related to this agenda of today.
Big report is on the report, unless you don't read your agenda. The big report and the policies are on this report. I'm questioning the big report now, unless you are saying it's not on the report.
No, I'm not.
BIG
report. Listen, Honorable Member, I'm respecting you. I'm saying, but other your starting questions, when I was listening, those questions which are relevant, which you have been asking, is not. Yes.
Yeah, Makeba's report is here, Chair. It's not, unless which report are you telling me that I've raised a report which is not there? I've raised issues of Makeba. I've stated clearly that the previous minister misled myself because I wrote written question to him directly, and he responded badly. After getting this report, it shows good Berana Manga. Okay. Now, I don't know which report you are saying. I'm talking about the previous report. Which report are you talking about, Chair?
Continue, Honorable Mhlongo, but when I was listening to you, I was listening that other questions that you are referring. In fact, maybe you were referring, but I'm saying that when I'm listening, maybe the same people who you are raising question to them, they'll answer to what I was thinking, because then you were not in the meeting through the what you call the load shedding. But I've said with due respect to continue.
With respect, Chair, which question I'm asking you that I must not go back to it? Which question do you think I've asked and it's not relevant to what we're discussing? I'm asking you with respect to.
With respect to Honorable Mhlongo, I'm suspecting when you were referring that we have so many questions that you ask, and the department didn't come, and the public protector. But when I was listening to you, some of those were, if I can tell you, were the ones of the NAC, which in your questions, but I'm saying maybe let's just like the expired project and surplus funds policy. So I was just not aware whether part of this agenda or what. So that's why I'm saying to you, maybe when you were just referring, not talking about the expired project and what is this surplus funds policy, I was thinking that they are not part of this agenda, but the other questions you have right to ask them.
Chair, the question was surplus. I wanted a confirmation. I'm putting it to the public protector to say acting public protector. I'm putting to you that the surplus project, it's not implemented. Now she must respond. I'm putting it to her. I have an opportunity to put it to her now. She's here and I'm putting it there and I've quoted what I've quoted.
Okay.
Chairperson, on CIFSA, on CIFSA. Chair, can I continue?
Yes, continue.
Chair, on CIFSA, even the minister, the previous minister, misleaded in his response, written question to me, which is CIFSA